Hello there, I'm Paul Ray from the official Teen Wolf Wiki, and today I'm sharing my theory about Druid magic, which isn't actually magic at all really, it just seems like magic. In other words, I'm going to drain almost all the magic from Teen Wolf, and make this universe a much duller and more joyless place. If you like discussing theories and canon and nostalgia surrounding Teen Wolf, subscribe. There's also a limited edition t-shirt for sale that financially supports my channel. Link is above and in the description. If I still sound a bit odd, it's because I'm still unable to speak. I had oral surgery on November 15th and my jaw was badly damaged. Since my issues seem to be a long-term situation, I have invested in a personal AI version of my voice. I built and trained this AI through a program called Descript Overdub. Basically, I fed it a bunch of my videos and this is the voice it spits out. It still sounds a little off, but beggars can't be choosers, and I do want to continue to make videos. Still, due to the limitations of the AI voice, this video will be more data-driven and less rambling than my usual fare.
So, what are you, some kind of witch?
No, I'm a veterinarian.
Oh, Isaac, please stay adorable. I don't want to say there's zero magic in Teen Wolf. For instance, we still don't know how Kate put that whammy on Derek in Season 4, but we know for sure there's no magic in what Deaton, and Morrill, and the Dar Rock did on the show. For my theory to work, we just need some basic elements. First, we need a power source which the Teen Wolf writers gave us in Season 3. There are a couple of natural power sources at play in most of what we saw on the show. The largest pool of potential energy is flowing all around you at this very moment.
Danny marked all the telluric currents, okay? Now, the weird thing about Beacon Hills is that it actually is a beacon. You wouldn't believe how much energy throwing through this earth is around this town.
Telluric currents crisscross the entire planet. The other power source is your body. Humans are electrical, generating between 100 and 2,000 watts of energy. Add a layer of faith or fiction to that fact and you get a supernatural entity called a human soul, which, in Teen Wolf, was a particularly potent pool of potential power. Once you have a power source, you need a focusing agent to, well, as the name implies, focus the power. The show gave us a few.
Mountain ash. That's an old one.
For the vast telluric currents, the most obvious focusing agent was mountain ash. In addition to werewolves being unable to touch the wood itself, mountain ash has the peculiar ability to always attach to itself and form a circuit. If you throw mountain ash dust into the air, it forms a perfect circular energy barrier around you. This is why Styles was able to surround the raving warehouse, even though he ran out of the dust. He just got it close enough for the dust to move itself into position and complete the circuit. You can see it moving on its own. If you throw the dust between two pieces of solid mountain ash, it always completes the circuit and forms a focused energy barrier. The barrier repels anyone with a supernatural spark, which is why Chimera and Banshee have no trouble touching the wood or crossing through it. Now, here is where, if I was using my real voice, I would go off on a tangent about how hellhounds are able to burn through the barrier without having to physically touch it, and how Scott crossed one that one time but could never do it again. But this voice is only pretty good, so you'll be spared my rambling on this topic. Another useful tree for focusing natural energies is a large oak nemeton. Kira's mom was able to use telluric currents flowing into the tree to kickstart her summoning of the Oni warriors. This is because the tree acts as a battery, storing up both telluric current and the life force of sacrificed humans. Oh my goodness, that sounds really evil and cold when the AI says it. But, as we saw with the Darrot, killing certain types of people in certain spots along the telluric currents can provide the killer with specific abilities like fully tactile glamours, super strength, weather control, and telekinesis.
All right, there's 3 places, right? Where they're kidnapped?
And then the place where their body was found.
But it's right on Telluric Current.
So maybe where he was sacrificed is somewhere in between.
As Scott and the gang figured out, the currents carry that life force, the Nemeton can store it, and Dark Druids are able to tap the power for their own purposes. Life force is shown to be the most powerful source of energy in the Teen Wolf universe, but it's wrong to kill people for power, so normal and sane people would never, ever, even think about trying to use a method that required murder. Good druids just use the power of plants, like mistletoe and wolfsbane, crystals like moonstone, and trees like the Nemeton oak tree and the mountain ash. All of those are real, and some are actually used as natural remedies and poisons in the real world. And the best part is, no one is forced to murder anyone to make use of the power of plants and rocks. If you have questions, hit me up in the comments. If you're enjoying my work, please subscribe. And I'll see you next time we go back to Beacon Hills.